I reached across the table, taking her hand. Who said anything about fairy tales? Real life is better. Messy, yeah, but real. And if you want family, I want that with you. She blinked fast, like she was fighting tears. You mean that? More than anything, I said. Kids, too, if God gives them to us. However many he decides. Her jaw dropped, and then she laughed through the tears, shaking her head. Do you realize what you're saying? You're basically signing me up for a lifetime workout program. Guess I'll have to keep hitting the gym, I teased. That broke the tension. We laughed, but she never let go of my hand. Later, while the dishes dried in the rack, the conversation drifted to dreams. The places we wanted to see, the lives we imagined. She admitted she wanted to travel, but had always been too busy working. I confessed I wanted to build something lasting, a life, a home, not just victories in VR or promotions on paper. By the time we moved to the couch, her head resting lightly on my shoulder, it felt like we'd peeled back layers neither of us expected tonight. And for once, the future didn't feel like some abstract daydream. It felt close, tangible. The morning sun spilled across the quiet street as I pulled up in front of her place. My car idled, and for a second I wondered if last night had been too much, too vulnerable, too real. But then her door opened, and there she was. Hair pulled back, casual clothes, still glowing in that effortless way that made my chest tighten. She slid into the passenger seat with a soft smile. Morning, I said, returning it. Sleep okay? Best I've slept in a long time. She glanced sideways at me. You? Same. For a moment, neither of us said anything, the kind of comfortable silence that wasn't awkward but grounding. Then I pulled away from the curb. We stopped at a little diner first, the kind with creaky booths and coffee that tasted better than it had any right to. She ordered pancakes stacked like a tower, and I teased her for it while I nursed eggs and toast. Over coffee, she leaned on her elbow, studying me. So, breakfast before Massachusetts. Does this make me officially part of your Sunday routine? I grinned. Only if you want it to be. Her eyes softened. I do. That carried us through the rest of the meal. Easy conversation about nothing and everything. Her family back home, my friends giving me grief, the way the world felt a little different now that we weren't skirting around what this was between us. Afterward, we drove to church. She was quieter then, almost thoughtful as we walked up the stone steps. Inside, the sunlight filtered through stained glass, painting the pews in color. I could see her eyes moving, absorbing the space, the rhythm, the reverence. During the homily, I caught her sneaking a glance at me, and when our eyes met, she smiled, a small private thing, but it sent warmth all through me. So I said, teasing, "How's your first official Sunday with me?" She smirked. "You mean my first of many?" And in that moment, I knew she meant it. When the final hymn faded and the church bells began to toll, Dev and I walked hand in hand down the steps into the sunlight. I spotted Titan first, leaning against the hood of his truck. Ace stood beside him, sunglasses perched in her hair, while Crash came up from the lot with Milana at his side. "Look who finally decided to show up," Titan called, grinning when he saw us. Ace smirked. "About time you two stopped being subtle." Dev flushed a little, but squeezed my hand tighter. "Subtle isn't really his thing," she murmured, giving me a sideways look. "Hey," I said, pretending to be offended, "I can be subtle." Crash clapped me on the shoulder. "Sure, real subtle. Totally discreet." Everyone laughed, even Dev, though her caramel complexion carried a warm red hue. Milana's smile was kind as she leaned closer to Dev. "Ignore them. They tease because they like you already." "Good to know," Dev said, her voice soft but genuine. "Lunch?" Titan asked, clearly eager. "Japanese," Ace suggested, her eyes already bright at the thought. "Perfect," Crash agreed, and the decision was made. We all piled into cars and headed across town to a small Japanese restaurant tucked between two shops. Inside, the scent of soy, ginger, and sizzling meat filled the air. The waitress ushered us into a long booth, and we crammed in shoulder to shoulder. Menus unfolded, chatter filled the table. Titan debated sushi rolls like it was a tactical choice. Ace argued for ramen. Crash and Milana swapped knowing glances like an old married couple, and I found myself watching Dev as she scanned the menu. She caught me staring. "What?" she asked, smiling. "Just wondering what you'll pick." Her eyes sparkled. Something you'll steal bites of. The table laughed at that, Titan shaking his head. Oh, she knows you already, man. The food came out in waves. Bowls of ramen steaming, platters of sushi lined with color, skewers of yakitori glistening with glaze. Conversation ebbed and flowed, ranging from VR gauntlets to drill weekend stories, to Ace threatening to drag Titan into karaoke after. Somewhere between bites of teriyaki chicken and stolen sushi from Dev's plate, I realized how natural it felt. Not just me and her, but her with all of them. Like she belonged. When Milana leaned over and whispered something that made Dev laugh, a real, unguarded laugh, I caught myself smiling too. For the first time in a long time, everything felt whole. After lunch, the six of us decided to keep the day rolling. Titan and Ace practically dragged us back to the VR lounge near the arcade, insisting we needed something light after all that holy focus. The place had a wide variety of games, but instead of the heavy combat or survival sims, we picked multiplayer party titles, stuff with bright colors, goofy mechanics, and zero consequences. We slipped into the pods, and in seconds we were all dropped into a cartoonish arena where the objective was simple: run obstacle courses, toss paint bombs, and survive ridiculous minigames. Alright, Titan said, his avatar a bulky gladiator in bright purple armor. I'm about to carry this team. Carry us straight to last place, maybe? Ace shot back, her character a ninja cat with sunglasses. Crash and Milana spawned in side by side, matching pirate outfits, clearly a couple who had played co-op before. Dev materialized next to me, wide-eyed at the cartoonish world. Her avatar was randomized, a clumsy penguin in a chef hat, and she immediately started laughing. This is ridiculous. Ridiculously fun, I corrected, grinning. The first round started, a platforming race across spinning logs and collapsing bridges. Titan charged ahead, immediately got knocked into the water by a swinging hammer, and everyone burst into laughter. Ace shouted, Titan, you're supposed to avoid the hammer. Not in my playbook, he roared back as his purple gladiator respawned at the start. Dev waddled her penguin carefully along the planks, giggling as she nearly slipped. Why is walking so hard? Welcome to VR, I teased, moving beside her to body block some of the bouncing balls that threatened to knock her over. Bodyguard boyfriend, nice, she said, her voice playful. By the time the second round hit, dodgeball with exploding fruit, the table was howling with laughter. Crash threw a pineapple straight up, only for it to land on Milana's pirate hat. She groaned, really, while he sheepishly apologized. We kept trading cheesy jokes and bad puns in between rounds. Titan, I'm grateful for this win. Ace, aren't you glad I didn't lose first? Dev, after getting hit by 3 apples in a row. Guess I'm the apple of their eye. It was silly, chaotic, and perfect. When the final scoreboard flashed, Ace somehow secured first place. Titan bragged about his strategic sacrifices, and Dev clapped like she just conquered the world, even though she placed dead last. I lost gloriously, she announced. Best way to lose. Milana agreed, giving her a high five. When we logged out, the group sat around with sodas from the lounge, still laughing about Titan's failed hammer jump and Dev's penguin avatar. The whole afternoon felt like the best kind of gaming session, the one where the score didn't matter, just the company. After everyone had their fill of sodas and laughter, we drifted out of the lounge together. Titan and Ace peeled off first, still arguing about who really carried the last match. Crash and Milana excused themselves not long after, arm in arm, with Crash joking about needing to study new dodgeball strategies. That left Dev and me standing in the parking lot, a little bubble of calm after the group chaos. She still had a grin on her face, cheeks warm from laughing all afternoon. I don't think I've laughed that much in years, she admitted, brushing a strand of hair behind her ear. Yeah, you handled your penguin avatar like a pro, I teased. Real survivor instincts. Hey, that penguin had character, she shot back, chuckling. Unlike Titan's purple gladiator disaster, we stood there for a moment, letting the silence stretch. It wasn't awkward, just charged, the way the air feels when the night hasn't quite decided what it's going to be. So I asked softly, want to keep this going? Maybe grab something simple for dinner and just hang out? No games, no movies, just us. Her smile softened. I'd like that. We ended up back at her place, both of us too full for a heavy meal, so we settled on making sandwiches and tea in her kitchen. The laughter from the afternoon gave way to quieter conversation as we ate, sitting across from each other at the counter. She leaned her chin in her hand, looking at me with an almost shy warmth. It's funny. I spent so much of my life building things in code, making worlds for other people, but this, she gestured lightly between us. This feels like something real I don't have to code. I reached over and brushed her hand gently. That's because it is real. No scripts, no mechanics, just us. Her eyes dropped for a second, almost bashful, then she squeezed my hand back. We spent the rest of the evening just talking, about nothing and everything. Future hopes, stories from childhood, even dumb little memories sparked by the tea we were drinking. When she laughed, it wasn't just amusement, it was